Hello and welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast. As always, I'm John, and that's
Ken. What's
Ken.
up, guys? Hello.
What's going on?
Not much, man. How you been?
All right.
This is, as we've mentioned here, once in a while we do a couple episodes in between. So John hasn't been here in a couple weeks.
Yep,
so
couple weeks.
It's, God, so much has happened in those couple weeks.
Yeah.
Since we recorded the last couple episodes. So sometimes, if you don't hear us talk about some hot topic, something that happened, it's because we kind of pre-recorded some of the stuff.
And they usually happen like the day after we record.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
And we're like, oh gosh, we missed this. Oh my God, we missed this and all that. So there was a few things that happened. We're going to touch on it, but we're not going to go too deep into it because, well, it's kind of. I hate to use the word old news considering what's happened and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is still newsworthy.
It's newsworthy. Almost played out, but not yet.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. But first, we are going to have one. This is a dusty bottle that's been sitting on the graveyard section of my bar. It actually has dust on it. It feels right though.
Feels
that it has
good. Yeah,
it's like it with the name Old Overholt. It kind of feels right to have that dusty bottle there.
That's right.
And it's not because I didn't like it or anything like that. It's just because, like I said, it's in my graveyard of bottles, and every once in a while we'll go into the graveyard and I'll find one that I'm like I haven't had in quite a few times because they just get lost over there, and I'm like, oh, we haven't done this on the podcast, and and it'd be nice for us to talk about it. This is the Old Overholt. 11 years straight rye whiskey. So it's 11. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's a long time.
Born in PA, made in Kentucky. Non-chill filtered, coming in at 46.3% alcohol, 92.6 proof. Let's do a quick read on this. Not much here. Age 11 years, strictly limited. In 1810, Abraham Overholt began distilling rye whiskey in western Pennsylvania, an area widely considered the birthplace of American rye. In honor of our 210th anniversary, we have released a limited quantity of our straight rye whiskey, patiently aged in Warehouse E. The rare and limited 11-year Old Overholt is a truly unique spirit worth savoring. Okay, John, you have anything you want to say on this while I'm pouring it, or what?
Yeah, I was reading up on it because I'm going to be honest, I never heard of this before.
Okay.
And it seems that this was like you had mentioned. It was produced in Pennsylvania at one time in the 1900s. 1800s and 1900s, and eventually, I guess Jim Beam kind of got a hold of it and took it over.
All right.
And starting around between 2020 and 2023, it says Jim Beam began revitalizing many of their neglected brands, collectively known as the Olds, which would be Old Grandad,
okay,
Old Crow,
okay,
and Old Overholt. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to get these, older ones back into play.
And of course, they have to add old to it, right?
Old, yeah. I mean, it's a really old brand
yeah.
that they're revitalizing and bringing back.
This one in particular was bottled in 2009. Distilled in 2009, bottled in 2020. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah,
there you go. 2020, 2023 is when, yeah. And apparently these were huge, popular brands back in the day during Prohibition, World War II. And blah, blah, blah. There's a lot here about this that we won't go into. But what I read, what was interesting, is the old original recipe used a little bit more corn than the Beam recipe does now.
Why wouldn't they just
keep
it? Yeah, why not I kind of like, then don't call Old Overholt then. Right. Call it something else.
Call it Jim Beam.
Yeah. Yeah, because to me, once you change something and, when people want to have that authentic taste, and you're not really getting that authentic taste that they're supposed to. Who knows? Maybe it's a minuscule difference. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, maybe it was a little cheaper to do it this way so that they can, put out these bottles back again. Maybe it's the only way they can get these bottles out of here. But
yeah, as far as pricing goes, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember what I paid. It's been in the graveyard for some time now, I can't recall. It's probably been for. I mean, if you see it was bottled in 2020, so. Doesn't mean I bought it in 2020. It could have been sitting on a shelf for a couple of years too, but it's still, be a little older. So, but
That's
it's
not
cool
bad.
having on the show.
That's a really dark color.
Yeah, it's got dark color.
Right.
I would call that a solid medium, maybe medium, slightly dark. Solid medium, I think.
Okay. There's not much legs going on.
No,
there,
not many,
though.
not much legs. Yeah, a little bit. You know, the more I twirl it and swirl it and all that fun stuff. But let's get a nose.
Ooh.
Okay.
It smells a little fruity to me, like a little.
I'm getting, to me, I'm almost getting more bourbon notes than rye notes on this, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting some of that spice, but nothing overpowering, I guess.
Very nutty too.
So you're saying get some nice fruity notes, some nutty notes. Okay.
I got that rye smell in there.
Yeah, you know what? The more I smell it, the more I
That
do.
rye comes out.
And a little bit. So
There's one particular note that I'm getting.
I'm getting a little bit of licorice on there.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
You can smell almost that spearmint
Like
minty rye.
think like you're smelling like a sambuca or something like along those lines, you know?
Right, right.
And you could kind of smell it when you start thinking it.
That black licorice.
Yeah, that black licorice kind of note. Yeah.
I like that note.
Yeah. I'm not a big licorice fan, but, you know, I know often sometimes we smell something and you taste it, it's totally different. So,
Good and plenty.
yeah. I'm not a big
It's one of
fan.
my favorites.
Yeah, not a big fan. I'm not a big licorice
Taste
fan.
it? You ready?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right, let's do it.
Good flavor.
Wow, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of getting a bready note, like a rye bread, which would make sense.
That licorice stands out though on the mouth, at least for me.
You get some of that licorice.
Because I mentioned good and plenty, but it is like that sweet candy, that candy shell with the licorice. Like it's definitely sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely sweet. I agree to that. And I get that. You know what? I get some slight nutty notes too on the palate.
Slight spice, but not too bad.
Good spice.
Actually, I feel it more now. Now the hug is coming in now.
Yeah.
I didn't get the hug on the first sip.
You know,
It was like a delayed hug.
Yeah.
It's there now though.
You feel it.
I feel it.
It's like that. It was almost like that hug. They were it was reluctant to hug you, and then it said,
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'll hug you.
Yeah, give me.
Come here. Yeah. Finish is good.
It's good. It hangs out just enough.
Yeah, it's a nice finish. I'm trying to see. I feel like the finish, that some of that nutty lingers a little bit, and some of that licorice kind of lingers a little bit too. Are you getting that at all? Or okay.
Mix it with a little bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. A little bit of water, and then on the lips, it gets almost a little spicy there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little black pepper, a little pepperish.
Sure.
You know?
I could say that. Yeah. You know, I've been on a more of a bourbon kick lately. My ryes have kind of taken a back seat lately. I find I haven't been doing as many.
I haven't had a rye in a while.
Yeah.
Either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm probably this is gonna probably kickstart it now. And I'm gonna go back to
ryes. Yeah. Do you have a lot of ryes at the house or no?
A few,
Yeah.
not a lot, but a few.
I think it's solid. I'm trying to remember. I'll be honest, I don't know, because even when I paid for it at the time, might have been cheaper than what is going for nowadays. It's tough. I know you're gonna look on the internet, but it's tough because
I don't think this is something you can walk into a Total Wine with.
Yeah.
And find. Wow.
So Old Overholt.
Wine World and More. I mean, this bottle's looking. Well, this is a 10-year that I'm looking at there.
I see an 11-year here at Nestor Liquor for 100.
Here we go. This is saying 90.
But I feel like that's a little high.
Yeah.
I don't remember paying that much for it. So,
Yeah.
but once again, I think the prices have changed a lot over the years. So
Yeah, this place is selling it for 90, but I don't know where it is or I've never heard of it.
well, plus it's an 11-year, and if it's still, you know, maybe it's got a little bit more demand or something.
Yeah.
You know, where people are like, oh well, they can get more for it now.
Right.
But yeah, I guess.
I like it though. It's very good.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a little bit more than just sitting in the graveyard.
Yeah. I don't know if I can get it how easily. It's not something when I see at the stores necessarily. So maybe I want to like savor it a little longer. I don't know.
True.
I only have the one bottle of it, so.
True.
But good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad we put this on. Cheers to
Sure.
Old Overholt, that old fella.
Old fella.
Right.
So, it was like the last time we recorded 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We do that because it's just a little easier for me because, I'm about an hour. And I know it sounds opposite, right? Because we're drinking more. But we just do a longer period of me being here rather than coming every couple weeks. So we do a few. And then the last time we recorded, it was like the day or two after something major happened.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
It was crazy.
yes, with Charlie Kirk getting murdered.
Yeah, basically assassinated.
Yeah, and in front of thousands of people or whatever,
Thousands, got to be millions, especially because the videos.
Well, I meant
are
live in
all
front
over
of
the
yes,
place.
yes,
But,
yeah.
yes, live in front of thousands of students.
Of students and
In,
everything.
where is it? That was Utah, right?
Utah, yeah.
Yeah, college campus on Utah. He was doing his normal, the debate style Q&A type of thing
Yeah.
that he does at the college campuses. And I believe he wasn't there long, right? Before it happened? Was he talking for a while?
No, not too long. He
Yeah.
got there, he was throwing some hats around, all that stuff, and then he started talking and started taking questions. And no, I don't think it was too long. And
And I believe the topic was transgenders with guns, I believe was the topic that they were talking about. Or violence with
Violence,
transgender. Yeah,
yes.
something. Violence among transgenders or violence against trans. It was something.
and yes, I know he said
His last word was violence.
yes. Gang violence, he had said, because they were talking about how many people got killed or something. But
And then it was a shot to the neck
yeah.
from, which I'm sure many of you unfortunately have seen the video because it's so
It's
out
pretty
there.
graphic, yeah.
Very graphic. And just the fact that was out there to the public to see, I think it's even more unfortunate because now, like, our kids can see that. They can look that up and see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you knew when he got hit that he wasn't going to survive that.
Yeps.
They took a while to pronounce him, deceased, but you knew he wasn't surviving.
Yes, not a shot like that, and just the amount of blood loss and all that stuff. So, that was he was an advocate for free speech and debate. He loved to debate, and that was his thing. And I don't know if it was necessarily he wasn't trying to listen. I'm not gonna like put him on the highest pedestal there is. Sometimes he could be a little belittling to some people, but he did that typically to people that came up there with anger and rage and things, and they were very in his face about certain things, and
he basically said, back up your facts. Then why are you angry? Back it up.
Yes. I mean, people actually had shirts on that came up and said, "I hate Charlie." Like it's like you almost know that this is going to be a problem, whatever. So, he was human. So there, just like you might get upset and sometimes let your anger get the best of you, and where you may
But the man never silenced people. He let them talk.
He always did. Yes. Yes, he always let people talk.
He had a rebuttal for everything, but he did let them talk. He didn't cut them off.
And you know what he was good with?
Push them away.
He was good with. I heard him say a couple times when someone actually had a good point, he would say, "That's fair." That's fair. That's a good point. Something along those lines. So, anywho, by now everyone kind of knows about it, so we're not going to talk too much about that. We know that the murderer got caught within a few days.
Yeah. And it was just your average Joe young kid who didn't agree with something and took it upon himself to pull the trigger.
Yes.
And he was in court today, actually.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Well, we're recording this a day before, so yeah. This episode will be released tomorrow. But he was in court, you said, and just a couple quick background things. We know his father had turned him in, and
his father's a sheriff or something.
So he
some type of police officer or whatever.
Yeah,
Very Republican people.
Yes, and the shooter was more towards the left. Had a boyfriend that he lived with in an apartment, from what I understand.
Yeah.
He was communicating with the boyfriend prior to all that, you know. Thing.
And I think after as well, saying, I'm sorry and blah blah blah, and this whole text chain, and the boyfriend was like, that was you.
Yeah.
So that's all there. So it's kind of like he can't deny it, but I'm sure his defense will spin something.
I mean, gay, transgender stuff aside, I think a common issue is just mental illness.
Yeah.
Does sometimes it go hand in hand? Sometimes with it, I don't know. That's the question people want answered.
I mean, the thing now is we haven't heard a peep from this guy. He's been held tightly under wraps. So we don't know if there's mental issues there. Was he trying to impress somebody? Was he just fighting for the rights of not the rights, because nobody was questioning rights, but fighting for his boyfriend or whatever. But he made a poor choice.
He made a horrible choice. That affected tons. I think, and it's been discussed. I think he thought a lot of times these shooters think more good's going to happen out of this.
Yeah, they think they become heroes
for them. Yeah.
But
they don't realize it actually. When something like that, so tragic like that happens, it actually works against them.
Yeah. Spreads the word more for what the people are standing for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the subscribers to Kirk's business, was it Turning Point or something?
Turning Point America?
Yeah, I probably tripled or, even who knows, where they have a lot more people that are interested to know what it's about.
Yeah.
So, he's talked about death. He talked about death. He talked about certain things,
but I mean, above what he stands for and what he did and his beliefs and what he talked about, I mean, the man had two children and a wife.
Yeah.
And it's sad that somebody took somebody's daddy away.
Yeah.
Somebody's husband away.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Somebody's son away.
And those kids were so young. Unfortunately, they'll probably never really remember the man who he was.
No.
They just. It's when a parent dies when the kids are that young. Sometimes they don't really remember too much.
No, it's just that's not the part that these people are thinking about when they do things like this.
Yeah.
It's a person.
Yep.
It's a person.
It's sad.
There's something else you could have did. You could have held up a sign. You could have, but you had to take somebody's life into your own hands. I don't get it.
He could have debated him.
And and in the same day, I believe there was a school shooting. Again, and I believe there was another one a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's never ending. We're really. This is like the downfall.
But the weird thing is that a lot of these shooters who tend to be, not saying all of them are, but tend to be a little bit more on the left. But the left is typically a little bit more anti-gun, so it's almost hypocritical in a way, or that.
But I mean, look what happened, right? This happened, and it like brought people to, not the left so much, but it brought people together.
Yeah.
There were no riots.
Yeah.
There was no Antifa.
Yeah.
There was no looting.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, let's light a candle and get together, and
But it wasn't just and we as people, we as podcast hosts, people in general have to stop categorizing left and right necessarily.
Yeah.
I think we need to start looking at the human behind that and saying. So I watched. It was on. What was I watching? I was watching something, and that governor of Utah, he's friends with like some other governor who's a Democrat, and and their whole thing was, we have differing opinions, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. And we can have a discussion, and I'm going to talk a little bit more on that governor real quick. And the day that happened in his state, she called him right away. This is tragic. I'm so sorry, and everything. I forgot where she was from, but but it just goes to show, like, yes, you can get along. So when he ran, I'm going back to what I was saying. When he ran for his for election,
The Utah governor.
yes, the guy who was running up against him, they actually made a decision together to do campaign ads together, where they said, we're not going to bash each other.
Good.
And they said, we're not. That's not what we're about. Right. And they agreed on this.
Good.
And he said, this is how I feel. This is how he feels.
Right.
There's not going after their past, not going after anything of that sort. They said, this is the way we're doing it. And
that's great.
And, yeah.
Yeah, you pick. You decide who you want. You decide, like, who's got the better views.
That's what it should be about.
And if you win, I'll support you. If I win, you support me. That's the way it should be, 100%.
It's sad
Friendly
that
competition.
Nowadays, someone's campaign, like I see it with this New York City election and stuff, somebody's campaign
that's getting bad.
Is bashing the opponent. And that's their whole ad, is talking bad about the opponent.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, like, don't stop bashing each other.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're going to do. That's all I want to hear.
And they spend millions of dollars doing this.
I know. And they dig dirt, and they do this, and they do that, and they do this. And I want enough with the bashing. Just I want to see how are you going to help our state, our city, or wherever. How are you going to help? And that's all I want to hear.
Yeah, and that's why, like, the strange governor, right, the Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He's a Democrat, but he's always like, Democrats are going too far, and the Republicans are going too far, and he's like in the middle almost. Like, I don't even consider him a Democrat anymore. I consider him like in the middle. Like a Demopublican.
Well, it was that whole woke thing is what did it. The whole woke thing is what did it. And that's what separated some of the old school Democrats. For instance, Joe Rogan, where he voted right this time, but he's more independent, but we probably identify as an old school Democrat.
A Republican, man. That's the new thing this year. It's going to be a Republican.
An old school one, just like Fetterman, and just like RFK was more, he wasn't Republican. Come on, he's a Kennedy. And he converted Tulsi Gabbard, another one that, these are people that just said, I just can't take the agendas, the sneakiness, what's going on, and they said, and I don't even know if they still, some of them, like obviously Fetterman, he's not going to identify as a Republican, but he's still saying, like, I'm not for that.
Well, I mean, it's
Bill Maher. He's another one.
And I think I don't even really think it's a Republican versus Democratic thing. It's just they hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't remember this business when George Bush was in there. And
Yeah.
But it wasn't this bad.
A lot of people hated George Bush.
Well, yeah, because he was a doofus.
Yeah.
But it wasn't this bad.
Yeah. No, it wasn't this bad. No, but that's because Trump's got a big mouth.
Yeah.
And that tends to hurt him a little bit, But get over it. Actually stop and listen to what he's trying to do and why he's trying to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And, Jesus, like a big stink bug or something flying over there.
There's something over there.
It came. I had the garage door open before, and I screwed up because they got in here somehow.
Yeah. But I don't smell anything.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I know. Right?
Let's bring that to freedom of speech. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel. What is your reaction with that? What is your thoughts and
my thoughts on this? Yes, we all have the freedom of speech. But the question is, should you?
How far does it go?
Yeah, how far does it go? We all have freedom of speech, but I think you have a responsibility when you have certain positions. For instance, if you are the host of a late night show or something, you can't say "Hail Hitler." You can't say that you hate certain races, or you can't say certain derogatory terms, or you can't say, And if you do, you should get fired. And that's the thing. People are making this into a freedom of speech issue. No one's questioning your freedom of speech. They're just questioning of what you can say and what you shouldn't say.
Appropriate and inappropriate.
Yes, what's appropriate at certain times. Because, I mean, what he had said regarding after Charlie Kirk's death, instead of, respecting or the people mourning and everything like that, he had to bring it up and make it into a political thing. And
which Jimmy Kimmel does.
yes, and that's all he constantly does. Constantly. Everything's got to be politics, politics. I don't understand celebrities who do that. You know,
They overuse their stage. They overuse their
let me tell you, Johnny Carson never did that.
No.
Johnny Carson, you wouldn't know what he was, you know, and that was his whole point. You could have all the guests you want. Everyone wanted to talk to you. Everyone wanted to, you know, and
I don't even remember Leno doing that. I mean, Letterman, I believe towards the end he got a little more. But these new guys now, it's just
that's all it is.
It's all they can talk about to get their ratings.
Yeah. And it's a bit much in that you're losing a lot of your audience. You're losing a lot of people, and it's some people are very. And now with that particular comment, I think he even lost some of his left viewers probably too. They're like, all right, this guy really is a douche if he's going to talk.
It just
like
sucks that he was. I don't want to say it sucks that he was brought back. I think he should have had a longer, maybe suspension, but then maybe the networks say, let's just drop the political shit and, be comedic, be funny again.
I think,
but he came back firing right away.
I'm going to, yes, he had crocodile tears, where he's like, like it was so. Come on, dude.
Oh yeah,
come on, man. Stop it. You had that all staged, and you're like, I'm going to put some tears into that one. I know, because they know what they're going to say. They always know what they're going to say. They don't just go into it. And it's all
moron that had young girls jumping on trampolines back in the day.
And blackface.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Jimmy. And I think that was the whole thing that a lot of people who don't like him are the reason they don't like him is because he's very hypocritical.
He's a hypocrite.
Very hypocritical. And, if you have a dark past and everything like that, and the history he has with that stuff, maybe lighten up on certain things and maybe stop bringing certain things up because you are no saint.
No, have young girls now in blackface jumping on trampolines on the late night show. We'll see how long you last.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not freedom of speech, right? Is that freedom of speech?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yes. But yes, and back to about freedom of speech. Once again, you can have freedom of speech, but there's time and place for everything. And
how far does freedom of speech go? Like, in your opinion, do you think it's appropriate, say in schools, for maybe a gay or lesbian teacher to have a pride flag on the desk? Is that their freedom of speech? Is that appropriate?
I don't think it's good in the sense that, especially from a religious standpoint, a lot of people are anti, that way, because you read the Bible, sodomy, all that stuff, there are certain things that they say to be that way is not right. Everyone has their opinion. I'm not saying, saying anything of the sort, like to judge people this way or that way or anything of the sort, but because I'm no judge, I always say I believe in God, God's the judge. But in that case, no, I don't think I agree with it necessarily.
No, I mean, to me, it's just like it's not a derogatory like you be you. God bless, be you.
Yeah.
But if you need to show that and point it out, now you're just drawing attention to it. And is that really what freedom of speech is all about?
Or is that trying to sway your students or anything?
Yeah. I mean, you get one person or maybe a parent-teacher conference not like that. Now it blows it all up.
Yeah.
And is that what you're looking for? I mean, we're in it for school. It's we can't even say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. So you can't say Christmas in school.
Yes,
and if it's a holiday.
And once again, I think I don't agree with maybe hanging up a Palestine flag or a Israeli flag or a Ukrainian flag. I don't think that there's. I think that certain things, especially when there should only be one flag hung in the classroom, and that's the American flag. That's what you pledge allegiance to, and that's that. When we start to involve controversial things, that's a different story, I think. And especially when you, as parents. And all parents have different opinions, and there's parents who are Muslim, parents who are Hindu, parents who are Christian, parents out there that put their trust in our school and our education to teach our kids, and it's responsibility to teach our kids, but not necessarily sway some of their family beliefs, and what that family has been raised on and everything, and I think that the responsibility is like, teach your math a lot of times. Teach your history. History is not a bad thing necessarily.
No.
Because history is, when people are like, oh, history is boring.
No.
But it's learning about your past and learning about the mistakes that were made.
Yes.
And learning about the things that worked.
History is a learning, absolutely.
I think that's the whole thing. Unfortunately, in today's society, you're not going to please everyone.
No.
You're always going to have someone that's going to disagree. There's always going to be someone that says, this is what should be going on in schools. This is what should be happening. And
But for certain things, that's okay. Let's talk. Let's have that discussion. I love it. Let's do it. Another Charlie Kirk thing is what I said. I mean, the man brought it upon himself to say, hey, let's talk about this. We can talk about this, me and you. You think different than me, but I don't hate you. Why do you hate me? I'm bringing you a forum to discuss your feelings. Why are you yelling at me?
Yeah.
Why are you talking down? Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome that somebody could do that because that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And he tried hard to do it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with some of the things he said, but he brought it to where we can discuss this.
Yeah.
We can't talk religion on this podcast.
And
we have in the past, but we can't dig deep. We can't talk deep politics. We talked before. Listen, let's not say this. We'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because you just can't.
Yeah.
You can't. What do when people say, like, the one thing I won't have in my house is that we won't talk religion, we won't talk politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why?
You can discuss it as long as people...
Yeah, have a discussion. It's fine.
As long as it stays a discussion. When it starts to become argumentative and things of that
Right.
sort, then...
It should never get that way.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Because people are
get it.
so strong with their opinions. And that's another
That's
issue.
fine.
A lot of these people that came to see Charlie were so caught up in their own opinions, they put up the blinds to others.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to hear them at all. They don't want to hear them at all. And people start spewing out things that have been proven wrong, that have been put out by the media a lot of times. Because that's the problem. I feel like media doesn't do research anymore. They're just quick to say, or they'll try to get away with it allegedly. Allegedly, this happened. Allegedly, and people aren't hearing that word allegedly. They're hearing what they're saying after that. And that's a big part of the issue. Because people would go to these events and be like, Donald Trump said this, and he's like, no, he didn't. It was been proven 4 times. It's, it wasn't said.
You took it out of context.
It was taken out of context.
You took 5 words out
Yes.
of a 20-word sentence.
Yes. And it's all too often where that happens, and then you get people that believe all this mainstream. Who the heck are these media people, anyways? I don't want to say journalists, because a true journalist really does their research. But I think some of these people that you see,
They want to make a name for themselves.
yeah, some of these
That's
people
all.
that you see on ABC or wherever, MSNBC or CNN or any of these places, they just someone else tells them, and they're reading off their teleprompter. They don't even really know, and they're just reading off it. And who's really doing the research here? Who's really finding out the facts?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to put something out there that's juicy? Are you trying to put something out there like, oh, let's do it now and ask for forgiveness later? And which they never take accountability. It seems like hardly ever. So, and then you get some of these young kids who are easily influenced, like the shooter, who all they see is, and they start absorbing all this stuff and the negativity that they're putting out there about some people, and they start to believe it, and they start to become passionate about it. And once again, the blinds come up or come down, and they think that there's they only see what they want to see, and that's it. And in that case, you created a psycho.
Yep.
And
That's the country we live in today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And our kids are going to have it worse than we do. So, unless somebody can fix something, nothing is ever broken. Everything can be fixed.
Yeah.
We just need to be better human beings to do it.
yeah.
That's all we need to do. Just be better human beings.
And I think I still have hope in people, and I still think that people are.
Absolutely, people do come through when you don't think they're going to.
Yeah. When you watch
Got to be
these,
more consistent.
just keep in mind when you watch these Twitter things or X or whatever things, a lot of times they are just putting out the negativity, and it's just always the expression, one bad apple spoils it for the rest.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, once again, it's more newsworthy. It's getting more of that clickbait. People are like, "Oh, what the heck happened there? Oh, who's fighting who? Oh, look at that!" And it's just very negative. I've made the mistake by watching a couple stupid fights on freaking X of or this happened or whatever or things that are happening across the seas and stuff like that, and like in England or wherever, and migration over there. And then I watch one video, and all of a sudden my feed is just all that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Oh well.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this. I'm sure we'll find out more as things, the days progress and everything about what's going to happen to this killer. Do you think he is going to get the death penalty?
I'm gonna lean towards no. I think he's just gonna live the rest of his life in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna go that far with it.
Yeah.
Or if he gets the death penalty, it's not gonna be until for like 100 years.
What do you think? If what's it, Erica Kirk, the wife?
Yeah.
If she were to choose right now, judging by what you've heard in the news and everything like that, if he should get the death penalty or not, what do you think she'll say?
No.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think she's come forward and said, "I forgive you."
Yeah.
And I hope in her heart she does because that's what they stand for.
Yeah.
I hope she's not just saying that to say it.
Yeah.
But I believe these are genuine, God-loving people, and I believe she has forgiven, and I don't think she would want.
Yeah. Would you give him the death penalty? Now I'm getting to the deep questions here.
I would, only because I believe in a death penalty, and I believe that the justice is, your punishment should be,
equal to what
equal to your
the
act.
crime,
and I believe keeping a young person in jail for the next 200 years. Why? You're going to die in jail regardless.
I think there's gray areas, John.
I believe the punishment should fit the crime. You kill should be killed.
Yeah.
That's how
I think there's gray areas because if I saw a guy who found someone molesting their child and they beat the living shit out of them until they died,
it's a different story.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's some
the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I can run over a kid in the street on a bike, and that's like manslaughter.
Yeah, it wasn't intended.
It wasn't intended.
Yeah,
this person went with the intention of killing somebody.
Yeah,
so that person to me should be put down.
Yeah, I'm undecided on that right now myself. In the beginning, I think I was more like, no, kill that bastard, But the more you read into it, and that's where I get a little emotional intelligence into this, is why did he become the kid he became? What shaped him into this kid? What about his dad?
The internet, social media.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
What about his parents who made the extremely tough choice to turn him in, the turmoil they're going through right now? And they did everything they did everything they can to do right after the fact. I don't know. They didn't seem like they were bad parents. You have some of these shooters, and you see the parents, and you see stuff, and you're like,
yeah, I get it.
It kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
or they bought the kid the gun, or they let them use their gun, or whatever. In this case, he was, 22? 22. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily, you're not giving a 17-year-old a gun necessarily, It seemed, from what
I don't know the facts about where the gun came from, how he
grandfather's,
got it.
I think they recognized it because it was the grandfather's old gun.
I mean, this kid was demented enough to inscribe it on the bullets.
Yeah.
How that works, I don't know. I mean, how big were the bullets that you can
They're
do that?
pretty
but
big, yeah.
I think I don't see any mental illness here right now. I just see a bad decision, bad judgment.
But just like you don't want the media
anger
to sway to the, just like we say that the media puts things out there in his head that he might, or the internet or Facebook or wherever you want to say is putting things in his head. I also don't want to have blank things in my head because I don't know all the facts. I don't know everything.
And that's what trial and our judicial system is supposed to, figure out. It's not up to me to figure out if this person should get the death penalty.
Yeah.
I can give you my, I might change my mind come next year when this trial actually starts. I might hear something that say, you know what? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I see a normal person who assassinated another normal person
in front, and they didn't just
in front of the world.
Yes, in front of those people that were there, especially are going to be emotionally scarred for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
it's something that he can't take that back.
No.
That what he did, and it was selfish.
Yeah.
And
if you were a few inches off, you can kill 3 or 4 or 5 people.
yes.
And like you said, people now are mentally scarred from that for the rest of their lives,
yeah.
and they might not be able to recover.
Yeah.
So you didn't really just like the wife and the children.
You affected
Or
so
the people
many
that were
other
there.
people.
So
Yeah.
you didn't just kill one person. You destroyed many people's
Yeah.
mental health and
Yeah.
lives with that.
I know.
And
And then there's people who would normally say, "Oh yeah, he should be put to death," but then a lot of people are like, "No, I want to see him suffer in jail for the rest of his life." You know.
yeah, I know.
And there's other people that have different opinions, and there might be some few people that out there say
As a
he
test,
can change. He's young. He can realize the stupidity he did, and But I don't know that there's so many differing opinions you can have on this.
yeah.
In this case,
And that's why I said it's not up to me.
It's a tough one to it's tough for him to recover from this one because it was such an evil act. So
God will guide our judicial system and the judge and the jury that will be making this decision.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of them. So.
yeah, I'm glad that I'm not. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to be.
On that note, let's wrap this one up.
Shout it out.
Shout it out. Old Overholt.
Old Overholt.
You made we're gonna leave the dust on you, Mr. Overholt.
Yeah,
and
it gives it character.
that gives a nice character. Pretty decent stuff though. I liked it.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say? 3.75 for me. I'd say 3.65.
3.65? Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably go. I like it a lot. I'd probably go like 3.9.
3.9. All
Yeah.
right, cool.
3.9.
All right.
Close to 4.
All right.
I like it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Cheers.
cheers to you.
Peace.
All right.